KAIA's 14, and she was found in the Bronx with her brother in the block, abandoned. And this older lady used to take pit bulls in and keep them from kill shelters. And we were fostering at the time and found her and just couldn't give her back.
And so I have it on such a light setting, I'm mostly stimulating. Now the lumbars, where I'm in now, the facets are at 90 degrees. So this is a good angle for the lumbars. Ooh, that was a tender spot. You see she licked a little bit too.
Yeah.
Let's let her think about that one for a minute because that was a lot. I just made a new online course called How to Massage Your Own Dog. So we have KAIA here today, and this is Anthony, the owner, and KAIA's dad, I guess, right?
Sure.
Yeah. We also have Sam, but Sam's off camera, and the two of them have, how do you find KAIA? How old is she, first of all?
KAIA's 14, and she was found in the Bronx with her brother in the block, just abandoned. And this older lady used to take pit bulls in and keep them from kill shelters. And we were fostering at the time and found her and just couldn't give her back.
So you were fostering, and then you had the classic foster fail where you
Yeah.
wound up keeping her.
Love.
Yeah.
Love. Got bit by the doggy love.
So they think there's a little pit bull, a little bit, right?
Pit bull and greyhound.
I see some greyhound.
We had her tested, and that's what they came back with.
Yeah, that's how you get the good physique. You get that sleek physique.
She kind of runs like that. Her
Yeah.
paws between the front.
Yeah,
she doesn't run all sloppy like a pit. Yeah,
she really knows how to gallop. Right?
Yeah, she gallops pretty good.
Yeah. So one of the reasons you came in was just to get a checkup, right? To check her body and just do a nice tune-up, right? Am I right? Or
well, she's had her age. She's been a very active dog, a traveler, and she hurt her leg where most people get like a TPLO surgery, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So we opted not to do the surgery, and I think age and time and using her body differently has just created a little bit of subluxation and tightness.
What's under the right jaw?
She just had surgery for cancer. She had a tumor removed.
Okay, so she had a tumor removed. And how did that go? Did they feel it was a good job? Like they got it pretty good?
Stage 2, yeah, and seems so.
Okay. All right, so what do you think, KAIA? You want to do a little work today? Can I work on you, sweetie? It's okay? All right. So I'm going to start up here. Should we move her back a little bit, Roger? I might keep her in place for a minute. So I'm going to check up here at the atlas. Is it okay if I work with you? Smell good. Let's see if your head comes up. I don't want to touch that. It's on the right side.
She's also a little blind getting there, so.
I saw the little bit of cataracts there, a little cloudiness in the eyes. So I'm up here at the atlas, and she's got a little bit of tightness at the right atlas, and that's where the wing of the atlas goes up. Here's a plastic spine, and this would be the dog looking down, but these are the wings of the atlas here. So here I'll hold the nose up in the air, and you can see it's the only bone that has these big, wide, bony wings. And in her case, the right one wedged up towards the skull, so I'm gonna pull it down a little bit. And usually you don't hear a pop here, but you can, but usually don't. And no, I didn't get it. Still didn't get it. That one I got. When I say I didn't get it, I mean it didn't move. And when I said I did get it, it means that I could feel it click and come down again. And then when I come up here, the spaces are even. The space between the wing of the atlas and the base of the occiput, both gaps are good here. Anthony, put your fingers in here at the top, really light. And so there's that.
Oh yeah, I feel it.
So,
Wing on each side.
Yeah, and so try to find the gap between the skull and the wings. And that's an important part neurologically and affects the musculoskeletal system. And if that's really tight on a horse or a dog or really anybody, on a human, it creates all sorts of, humans get tension headaches, they can get vertigo, they can have a compromised immune system from that area. From horses, it'll affect their rear end and their front end quite a bit, and same with dogs. So I like to start there, and I got it to relax already. And it wasn't such a big deal. She's okay with that. And were you okay with that? Was that okay? Rub her little head. Rub behind the ears, very gentle. Rub the masseters, the cheek muscles, right? For mastication, that's where the name mastication comes from, because the masseter helps you chew and masticate. And here's a little muscle knot here. You might be able to feel this one too, Anthony. Bring your hand down and find my finger, the tip of my finger. And right there's a little knot right in there.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna work on that next. I'm gonna massage it a little bit. If it doesn't go away, I'll do a little adjustment on top of it. But here I am. So I'm gonna just hold this spot for you, okay, sweetie? Okay, I'm just gonna massage it. I'm not massaging really hard. On humans, I'd have to be much more aggressive because our knots get just so tight and angry. But for dogs, they don't get angry knots. They just get little tension knots. So I'm putting as much pressure as if I had a grape on the kitchen counter and I push down on that grape without breaking the grape. That's how much pressure I'm putting on this knot. So enough to dimple the grape, but not to crack the skin of the grape. It's a good description, right? So you can kind of picture what would that pressure be, and that's the amount of pressure I'm using. And I'm still on that right now. You can see her head comes down a little bit, because this will help relax her neck, and I am gonna adjust a little bit here. Ooh, that one went. Okay. I always have to remember, sorry to lean on you. I have a funky knee. I sprained it 6 months ago, and it's almost better, but it's hard for me to just sit on my knees on the left side. I had a grade 2 tear.
Sounds like you need an adjustment.
I do. I did get work done though, so that's good. I was a wrestler, and I'm so used to being able to sit on my knees like comfortably. And like this one, but this left one, the one I injured, I can't squish it closed. I can, but it starts hurting. So now I'm on the bottom right, and here's another knot here, right where this finger is.
Yeah, that actually I massage often, and that
Yeah.
seems to bother her. She seems very tender.
So what happens when there's a massage spot like that, a knot that is chronic and is always there? Sometimes below the knot is a misalignment that's irritating the nerve. And if you can release that nerve, then finally that muscle has a chance to let go and not be so persistent and chronic. And
That happened after her surgery, that area.
Yeah.
That's when it got really tight.
so it might have, like, because she had surgery under her chin here, and from the cancer, and it might really affect some of the nerves coming into those muscles at the shoulder. So sweetie, I'm gonna get this one here. So I'm gonna laterally flex to the same side. Ooh, okay, that was good. So that was actually C7 on the right, and there's 7 bones in the dog's neck. Most mammals, almost all mammals have 7 bones in their neck, including giraffes, humans, dogs, horses. The only ones that don't are sloths and manatees. They don't have 7, but then it varies in the thoracic. So a dog has 13, a cat has 13, humans have 12, horses have 18, and pigs have 15. Then dogs have 7 lumbars, and so do cats, and horses have 6 lumbars, and humans have 5. So there's a lot of variation. So now I'm going to be up here in the withers, And we say withers for horses and dogs. And a saddle on a horse would go right behind here. But dogs don't wear, you don't wear a saddle, do you? No, good. I think that would be a tough life to have a saddle on you. So now I'm up here, and I'm not finding any bad spots here, but as I come at the base of the withers, which is taking me into the 8th thoracic, well, here I'm at 6, so I've got a little bit more. Right there it gets tight. So, and I think that has to do with the neck still. Good. Bring your head up. Ooh, that was a tender spot. You see she licked a little bit too.
Yeah.
Let's let her think about that one for a minute because that was a lot. Feels pretty good. So I'm just going through little by little. It takes time. I also don't want to rush through this, so I hope everybody's okay with that. Because, you know, she's 14 and we need to give her time also to just digest it and think about it a little bit.
It's great that she's so trusting.
You know, she's let me work, right?
I think she knows it's starting to feel better.
And this is where it gets, that's that little spot that rounds up on her a little bit. And I bet if we saw a picture of her in her younger day, this top line, and in a dog and a horse, we call this the top line, like the silhouette of this line here. Look, we have a bottom line. She has such a beautiful waistline. She doesn't sag in the belly. She comes right up high like an athlete. You just have a beautiful physique, I'm telling you. And then here, though, that's from aging process. She's a senior dog. And also, it can get a little arthritic in here. This is one of the first places on a dog to get a little arthritic, is in this section. And you can see she's already wiggling away a little bit here, because that's a tender spot. So I'm not gonna delay anymore. I'm just gonna get in and do the job here. All right, let's actually let her walk around with that one and see if she wants to take that in. She might shake a little bit, she might.
That was great though. She normally very tender there.
Yeah.
I saw her a lot. She jumps and wiggles.
And it's just that's the kind of that's that spot we feel when we get old. No.
Yeah, I have it. My mid-thoracic is number one.
Yeah.
Mine's twisted.
That's her mid, that's equivalent to that spot for us. You know, where you're like, oh.
Like you said, the ribs connect in there. That's the intersection.
Hey, boo, how are you? Okay, you want to just do a little more and finish up? Okay. That's a good sign. So she's not scared of me.
So knowing her for 14 years,
Yeah.
the only time she ever does that is if she really loves you.
Oh.
She does not do that to people. She'll be around other people constantly. Yeah.
And we just met 40 minutes ago, so I don't have a history with her.
That's trust.
Yeah. I think, you know, maybe I'm crazy, but I think dogs and horses and animals can get a sense if you're, you know, there to support and do well for them. And, you know, so maybe she has the sense that my intentions are right. Why are you smiling? You want to just finish up? We'll do a little bit more? All right, so I'm going to ask you to do your, come on forward.
It's that pit bull smile.
Such a great smile. Here, come. So let me just check a little bit in the back end. I'm going to pick up her leg now and stretch it. So I'm going into a little dog extension. Now notice this leg's not going to come all the way up to the sky. She even pulls it back already because it's a tough stretch for her. And let's do this side. So what's the goal? The goal is to bring it to the point of where the muscle is at its end point. And then you just let the dog breathe through that, which reminds me I should breathe too. And just hold that stretch. So she's in a stretch, but it's not so much so that she's hurting from it. And then we can also compress. So we can bring this leg up and pull it up and hold. We can bring it forward. We can compress again. We can bring it back. I like to grab above the knee for this, so I do all the work. Got a little more that time. Good job. And then we're going to bring it up again and bring it forward. One more time. Compress above the knee. So I'm grabbing the thigh and holding. Notice I'm not ripping it back. I'm just holding it, and we put it back down. So let's maybe, well, she's in a good spot. So I'm going to just pull this leg up now, the right one. And I think that's the one she had a little bit of an injury, right?
Yeah.
Perhaps the right one. So she didn't have surgery, so time goes by, you forget which side it is. And then I'm gonna compress that up. I think it might be this side, because this knee or stifle is a little stiff. If it wasn't this knee that she had the tear, it's just a stiff side anyway.
One's more limp than the other, I think.
Yeah.
Smaller muscle too.
So I'm just working this a little bit. She's giving me this. Okay, putting that down. Now I'm gonna rub the glutes. She's got good glutes. She's still got some muscle left, which is really good. A lot of times, you can see a little wasting. So, you know, and what happens here is the muscles along each side of the spine used to be probably very muscular on her. And now they're sunken a little bit here, but she is 14. Now I'm feeling the hamstrings, and they're decent for her age. It could be a lot worse. You know, she's so lovely. And I'm gonna just, with the tail, I just give it some direction. I'm not yanking on the tail. If anything, you can hold the tail stationary and let them pull away from it. So I'm not doing anything, she's doing the work. She does whatever she wants with it. She's playing a little tug of war with me right now because it feels good. I'm not pulling at all, I'm just holding it and stabilizing, and then she goes like this, and pulls away from it. She's just chilling with this. And then we let it go. Feeling down the tail. She might have had an injury right here. Feel this spot right here.
Yeah, she has.
And come this way, so
Oh, yeah.
but even from the side, you'll feel it even more. Right about there is a bump. So she might have cracked that when she was a puppy, or who knows, right? We all get aches and pains. And you can feel that one little section there was probably an old injury. Okay, I'm gonna reach under into the hip flexors and get the, feel that area. Now this is a very vulnerable area. I did get kicked by a horse doing this to a horse. I got out of the way and it didn't get me bad. I ran. I saw it coming because I was on it. I knew in the area that I was on, which is where I am now, is super tender. And the horse did a kind of a cow kick, which means sideways. Because I was on the side like I am. And they can pick their leg up like a cow will kick out. You know, because you spent time out west, you said too, right?
Yeah.
And I saw it coming because I was watching the horse's ears, and I go, but I wanted to get the spot, so I hung in as long as I could, and then I started running and kicked me in the thigh and the butt area, and I had a welt, but it could have been worse. Like if it got my knee, it would have been bad. So we're done. Let's just have her walk it out one more time, and I just think we did a lot. Actually, there's one last thing I could do when we bring her back. I want to tap down the spine a little bit and just give it some vibration. So look how soft this is.
Yeah, I remember my chiro about using that for stimulation.
Yeah, it's good for stimulation, and it actually does impulse the joint a little bit because it's percussive. So it's like a tap, 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 but it's nice. Hey, what are you doing over there? Do you want to come over here for one more minute? All right, come back here.
KAIA, come on.
Okay, come talk to your dad for a second.
Come here.
Before you run more.
Let's go. Good girl.
So I'm going to just do a little tapping here. So you see, Anthony, I'm up here in that little lump area. And so I have it on such a light setting, I'm mostly stimulating. Now the lumbars, where I'm in now, the facets are at 90 degrees. So this is a good angle for the lumbars. Now I'm at the sacrum. Now I'm going to come up. Now watch.
That's always been
90. And then I follow the spine and the facets change here, so I angle it down a little bit. So there's technique to this. It's not just tapping, because you have to know the angle of each joint, and they're different in different species. Change the angle, the vector. Now we start the anticlinal area of the spine and coming down. And that's it. Whew. What do you think? Chest feels good. I think we're done. Everybody leave KAIA a comment and send her a lot of love. And you want to say anything when we finish? She's just like, it looks like she could take a nap right now.
She's so chill. She's an amazing creature.
I can tell why everybody loves her. She's great. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
KAIA's 14, and she was found in the Bronx with her brother in the block, abandoned. And this older lady used to take pit bulls in and keep them from kill shelters, and we were fostering at the time. And